Today on OC News, an update on the CSUF mask mandate that's leaving students with mixed feelings.
Plus, a look at the spot on campus that is making sure all students feel welcome.
And thinking about taking a road trip with friends this spring break? You might want to reconsider. All this and more coming up.
This just now in tech news, the first responder on the scene. There's been a lot of collaborative efforts.
I feel blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students
at Cal State Fullerton. OC News starts right now.
Hello, thank you for joining us at OC News. I'm Alex Mora.
And I'm Brandon Vicuña. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students here at Cal State Fullerton. President Joe Biden announces the ban of Russian oil and gas imports as a punishment to Russia for the invasion of the Ukraine. This move bans any U.S. investments in Russia's emergency sector. President Biden says the U.S. may see more consequences from this ban. CNN's Caitlin Collins has more on the story.
A new effort to punish the Kremlin.
This is a step that we're taking to inflict further pain on Putin.
President Biden announcing today the U.S. will ban Russian oil, gas, and coal after days of deliberation and growing pressure from lawmakers in both parties, arguing that Russian President Putin shouldn't profit from American purchases.
We will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war.
Biden was initially hesitant to implement the ban amid concerns that it would rattle global energy markets, with U.S. gas prices soaring to $4.17 today, up 55 cents in just the last week.
Defending freedom is going to cost. It's going to cost us as well. And with this action, it's going to go up further.
The ban shutting off a relatively small flow of oil into the United States, which ultimately gets less than 10% of its energy from Russia. But Biden says European allies, who rely much more heavily on Russian energy, are unlikely to follow suit.
Many of our European allies and partners may not be in a position to join us. We can take this step when others cannot.
The president declining to say whether the U.S. will try to import more oil from countries already under sanctions like Iran and Venezuela, which some Democrats are criticizing.
We're trying to prune back on Putin, right? We shouldn't be advancing other countries that don't share our values.
Ukrainian President Zelensky thanked Biden for banning Russian oil imports as he continues his push for a no-fly zone alongside 27 foreign policy experts who signed this letter calling for NATO to implement one.
The fault is with the occupants, but the responsibility is with those who for the last 13 days, somewhere out there on the West, somewhere in their offices, can't approve an obviously necessary decision. Those who still haven't secured Ukrainian skies from the Russian killers.
Biden saying today that Putin is determined to continue on his murderous path, no matter the cost.
This much is already clear. Ukraine will never be a victory for Putin. Putin may be able to take a city, but he'll never be able to hold the country.
Biden bans on imports is taking a toll at the pump. CNN Mahler Liar has the details.
Sticker shock at the gas pump is a tough pill to swallow for consumers. Between inflation and rising prices, pocketbooks will take a hit.
And so I think consumers, knowing that reality, that there's not much that can be done in the short run, they're going to have to start to make adjustments.
Michael Jones is an economics professor at the University of Cincinnati. He says it's not just consumers on the line for rising costs.
Businesses just can't absorb those costs. They're going to have to pass those costs on to the consumer. And we're already seeing prices of those things go up. We're seeing food prices go up. We're seeing transportation costs. I mentioned the cost of airline tickets.
Truckers are feeling the pinch.
I'm hoping next week, I'm already talking to my dispatch and dispatchers I know to see with the brokers to increase our prices, because the prices in trucking kind of stay the same, but gasoline went up.
Diesel prices are soaring, and semi-drivers say it's not sustainable.
It is really killing us out here.
Michael Jernigan drives his truck all over the U.S. He says truckers are retiring or leaving the business because it's tough to make money in this market.
If it ain't for us truck drivers, you guys wouldn't have nothing.
His last fill-up cost more than $600. It's usually $200 less than that.
I mean, it's crazy. I was just talking today with my wife and with my father-in-law. It's like, I think $1.50 more than last week.
Jones says that trickle-down effect has consumers looking hard at their finances.
The concern here becomes you start to see a pullback in the stock market. And so you'll start to see not just the effects in the pocketbook, but you'll see it in your 401k. You'll start to see it in some of those other, maybe you'll start to see a pullback in real estate.
March 12th marks the end of the mask mandate in schools across California. But what does that mean for college students? Reporter David Dominguez talked with a few CSUF students to get their opinion on the matter.
Governor Gavin Newsom announced that on March 12th, masks will no longer be required for schools and child care services. This has CSUF students wondering if they're ready for their masks to come off.
So I'm not really sure how I feel about the mask mandate being lifted. I have a few concerns regarding the spread of COVID. You know, like with the new variants, you can't really tell when a new spike's going to occur. I'm just not ready to take mine off, but if other people are, that's fine. I'm going to choose to keep wearing mine, maybe even double mask once people start taking theirs off.
As of now, CSUF requires masks to be worn indoors until at least March 31st. Students like Caitlin Bolanos have mixed feelings about lifting the mandate.
I'm happy because I get to see everybody's faces again, but then it's also safety, and it is scary, but being vaccinated, I feel like I'm good.
As of March 12th, Cal State Fullerton students will still be required to wear masks. However, just across the street at Troy High School, they won't be. This is leaving a lot of students to wonder if the Fullerton mask mandate will end before March 31st.
The masks are kind of annoying, especially for those who wear glasses, and in certain courses I'm taking a chem lab and it fogs up my goggles, so I just think that the mask mandate should be lifted.
Students will wait to see if there's an update to the mask policy. I'm David Dominguez in Fullerton, reporting for OC News.
If you want your voice to be heard, listen up, Titans. ASI will be holding students' elections for this upcoming school year. Our reporter, Julian Serrano, got the chance to speak to a few candidates.
ASI student elections is now underway. A new selection of ASI leaders for the 2022 through 2023 school year is now up for grabs. I spoke to a few candidates to see the efforts they've been pushing during their campaign process. The Associated Students of Cal State Fullerton will be electing a president and vice president, along with several board of director positions in each college and department. Candidates have been campaigning for the past 2 weeks in hopes of a seat as a student representative.
It's actually close tonight at 8 p.m.
I want to make sure that they know that Cal State Fullerton is a second home for them. And so the second, if elected, we get in office, we're going to get the ball rolling. Make sure students know that there's tons of communities here for them, getting them involved so they can do more things like this, run for ASI, make their school better. And at the end of the day, getting involved builds character, it builds leadership, and it also helps them when they graduate. It helps them in their career, and that's something that I've found and that I know I need to get everyone else involved in.
I believe in transparency, and I also believe in just being one with the students. I'm a student too. I'm a student just like everyone else here on this campus. Nothing separates me from them. So it's about building that bond with people. You talk to them, you get to know them, you know their name, you know their face, you know their background.
Students, to have your voice heard and your vote count, you can visit vote.fullerton.edu. Ballots will close tonight at 8 p.m. I'm Julian Serrano in Fullerton, reporting for OC News.
CSUF offers a lot of resources and organizations for students on all walks of life. Our own Alexis Rubik spent some time with the quote-unquote dreamers on campus.
Located in Pollock Library, the Diversity Initiatives and Resource Centers facility is home to on-campus organizations aiming to encourage and guide students who are BIPOC, immigrants, or members of the LGBTQ community. And this past Monday afternoon, the Titan Dreamers Resource Center opened its doors to curious students to discuss immigration and the laws surrounding it.
So this was an idea of one of our students that works here for us, one of our programming and events leads. And she had taken a class with Dr. Jeffries where they talk about intersectionality and different immigration laws. And so she came to me and said, why don't we have an event where we talk about these things beyond the classroom. I thought that was a great event. Those are things that we don't usually get to cover when we do programming at the TDRC.
The guest speakers covered topics such as the origins of immigration in the United States, the current laws surrounding immigration, and how it's affecting immigrants in our country today.
Them taking somebody else's land.
Yeah, so we're open for all students. Of course, students who come into the space are never asked if they're undocumented. We don't, ask them what their immigration status is. We just welcome everybody, but we do have a clear vision of how to support undocumented students and those who come from immigrant families. So all of the events that we do are centered with that lens.
The Diversity Initiatives and Resource Centers is a great example of organizations on campus that can help students during and after their college experience. With OC News, I'm Alexis Rubik reporting from Fullerton, California.
Coming up, a look at the recently passed Postal Service reform bill that received bipartisan support. What this means for you?
And minimum wage is increasing this summer in one part of California. Find out how much and where after the break.
I have a question about
Earlier this week, Los Angeles announced an increase in the minimum wage for all workers in the county. Mayor Eric Garcetti announced the minimum wage would increase from $15 to $16.04 an hour on July 1st, which was assigned on Monday. Garcetti says the city, quote, felt to raise the minimum wage because hard work should always be met with the dignity, respect, and opportunity that fair pay brings. The decision comes as an effort to end poverty wages in LA, and the increase will benefit more than 600,000 Angelanos.
Yesterday evening, it was announced that the Senate passed the Postal Service Reform Act. The bill approves the $107 billion financial overhaul of the United States Postal Service and will provide financial relief in order for the mail agency to take on necessary improvements. This past year, we saw a spike in mail-in voting and e-commerce purchases. The Postal Service's role during the pandemic forced lawmakers to make a decision, as many worried that the agency would not survive another financial hit. It passed in the Senate with a 79-19 vote, and President Biden has stated that he will too sign the legislation.
Now, moving on to the world of sports, our reporter Chris Ramirez brings us the top sports stories. Chris?
Hey everyone, this is Chris Ramirez. Today we'll be talking about many of Fullerton's sports teams and also major sports stories coming from Mexico. We're starting off with some major news from Mexico. Atlas and Querétaro, two professional Mexican soccer teams in the Liga MX, were playing a match when a riot broke out in the stands and in the middle of the field. Although the government's denying any deaths, the independent observers have stated that at least 17 people have died and many more injured. At the moment, the Mexican police are looking for the suspects who were involved in this riot. And now, moving into some sports from Cal State Fullerton, both the women's and men's basketball team had their final match of the season. The women's closed out the season with UC Davis with a 70-42 loss, finishing the regular season with a 10-17 record. The men's team also finished the season against UC Davis with a 62-59 victory this past Saturday night. They closed out the season with an 18-10 record, finishing second in the Western Conference. Both teams will also aim its attention to the Big West tournament, which begins March 8th. We also had a nail-biting win thanks to the softball team, in which the Cal State Fullerton team scored a whopping 7 runs in the 6th inning to secure an 8-5 comeback win over Weber State Wildcats in the Judy Garmin Classic this past Sunday afternoon. This puts them into a 13-7 score that the Titans will be hosting. The Titans will be hosting both Penn University and Boston University on Tuesday night. And of course, you can catch both games on ESPN Plus as well. And finally, Fullerton also had an exciting high-scoring baseball game this past Sunday afternoon. The Titans were able to score 8 runs. However, it was not enough against Pepperdine's 12 runs. Pepperdine started strong with 3 runs in the first inning, and although Fullerton came close to evening the score on the 5th inning, Pepperdine was able to widen the score and finish the match with the win. This now leaves Cal State Fullerton with a 2-8 score this year. Better luck next time, Titans. Well, that's all the sports news I have for you today. I'm Chris Ramirez, sending it back to you guys.
So to come, do you like collecting unique mini ears? Well, we might have the perfect store for you.
And 4 months since the Astroworld tragedy, Travis Scott is speaking out. This and more when we come back.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Mexican-inspired Disney ears? I got the chance to talk to a vendor who got inspired to mix both cultures into her products, and how customers are feeling supporting women-owned vendors.
Magali Villegas, owner of Kimmy's Boutique, is selling Mexican-inspired Disney mini ears. She is mixing both cultures and creating concha mini ears.
You know that you can find your culture in this booth, because you can just walk in here and be like, hey, there's Mickey, there's this movie. But then also we have the conchas and the mazapan and the Selena, and I think that people like that. They like to identify with whatever they're shopping for.
March is Women's History Month, and customers here are supporting women-owned businesses.
Always supporting a woman to achieve whatever her goal and dream is, and if her goal and dream is to make clothes, jewelry, food, whatever it may be, just support one another.
Because we support each other and we inspire each other in different ways, and then we just grow as women.
All women usually are at the bottom in a lot of different things, so us being able to be entrepreneurs and all be here together supporting each other just shows all of the strength in the community, and it's just really awesome to be able to be in an event where we can all be here together.
A goal for Magali Villegas is to work for Disney and to inspire culture into their products.
I would like a job at the Disney company, Disney, maybe with merchandising, coming up with ideas. I think that they still need a little bit of help incorporating the culture into their business.
Mija Fest is an event where women-owned vendors are selling and embracing their culture into their products. I'm Alex Mora in Santa Ana, reporting for OC News.
Want a chance at winning a free pie? Head down to the Public Library to see just how you can get your hands on one. Attention pie lovers, head on over to the Public Library for your chance to win a free pie. Each month, the library holds a raffle for students to win a free pie from Polly's Pies. All you have to do is head on over to the Titan Student Research Center desk, where you can find signed slips right next to a small red box. Write down your name and number, and you could win a free pie. This month's flavor is coconut cream, and next month's will be banana cream. The contest runs for the rest of the spring semester, so don't forget to sign up each month.
Okay. Well, my name is Joy Sage. I'm one of the reference instruction librarians, but my passion is outreach. And so I like to do drawings here at the desk so the students can come and meet our librarians and also win some prizes. So one of the things we've been doing is Polly's Pies. So we have a year's worth of pies to give away, one per month. And then at the end of April, we'll also give away another one, which will be the banana cream pie. So we have a drawing here at the desk, and students can stop by and put their name in for the drawing.
Travis Scott is making headlines again. Our reporter Jasmine Morales has a scoop on this and all things pop culture.
Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Jasmine Morales, your entertainment reporter for the day, and yes, Travis Scott is making headlines once again. I have all the details on this and more. Let's get started. Earlier today, 4 months after Astroworld, Travis Scott announced a $5 million initiative called Project Heal. In an Instagram post, he said, "While it's easy for corporations and institutions to stay in the shadows, I feel as a leader in my community, I need to step up in times of need." He was met with support from his fans. To see more, check out project-heal.org. In other news, the Kardashians are on the cover of Variety magazine, talking about being women in business and to announce their hit reality show, The Kardashians, is coming back. Despite Kendall and Kylie not being on the cover or in the Variety interview, they will be a part of the show. So don't forget to tune in to Hulu April 14th. YouTubers David Dobrik and Jeff Wittek had a falling out last month after Jeff announced he was done with quote-unquote fake friends. A few years ago, Wittek had a terrible accident after doing a dangerous stunt and being encouraged by Dobrik. David spoke out about the event again yesterday in his podcast, stating it was an accident and that it's his biggest regret. I'm definitely looking forward to the new Kardashian show. Well, that's all the Hollywood news for you. I'm Jasmine Morales, sending it back to you guys.
And here's to true friendship. A group of 7 friends pitched in some money to give their friend an opportunity to see life differently. CNN reporter Nicole Griffith has this story.
I've heard of bricks being red. I didn't know how true that was.
Through Zane Stubendek's eyes, he sees a lot of grays.
I know that it's green, but I see gray right here.
That was until a few weeks ago. For his 19th birthday, 7 of his friends pitched in $250 total to get him a pair of Enchroma glasses that help colorblind people see color. They even captured the moment when his world was brightened.
Do they work over there?
Dude.
Bro, he's shaking. He's shaking so bad.
Oh, Zane!
Yeah, I put them on and got emotional, and I was just nervous that they wouldn't work at first, but I put on the glasses and immediately saw a red car, and that was my first time seeing red.
I've told him for a long time, I just never knew when it was gonna happen. So like, now that I was finally doing it for him, I was very excited. So then I got happy, and then he started crying, and then I had to hold my tears back.
Zane's friends have been by his side since high school, helping him pick out clothes and making sure he's matching along the way. They're the type of friends who are literally brightening his life.
The only reason that I was able to experience that is because of them. So I couldn't be any more grateful to have those type of people around me.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Our newscast comes to you Mondays at 5 p.m.
For all the latest updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Titan TV CSUF. From all of us here at the OC News, I'm Brandon Vicuña.
And I'm Alex Mora. Have a good night.